Hi, my name is Martine Andre, and I'm here today to share a summary of my action research. I am a kindergarten teacher, and literacy is very important to us. By literacy, I mean identifying initial, final, and medial sound, counting and blending syllables in a spoken word, isolating initial, medial sounds. I mean blending individual sounds, forming words, adding initial and final sounds, adding beginning sounds, and things of that sort. As you can clearly see, those skills are crucial in the early years. Research has proven that students who lack those skills in the primary grades may be the ones who struggle in third and fourth grade. As a teacher, it is my utmost responsibility to ensure that students acquire those skills and excel. So, as educators, we try all the methods necessary to obtain positive results. In this day and age, technology seems to be everywhere. It is important for our students to be computer literate and to use technology to their benefit. I think that integrating technology into our curriculum would benefit our students. In the past years, administrators have encouraged teachers to incorporate technology into the curriculum. They have gone as far as purchasing programs for us to implement in our classroom. Programs such as iExcel in math, iReady in reading, as well as Study Island. As a result of this, I was pushed to think a little bit. And it led me to my research question, which is how can technology affect literacy instruction? I plan on finding out by using the students in my classroom in addition to reviewing related literature. My classroom this past year consisted of 22 students. Of those 22 students, 15 were girls and 7 were boys. They range in age from 5 to 6 years old. I taught at a charter school, and these students, of course, before I started my study, it was important for me to assure that they were able to use the computer. I know you're probably thinking, I just said that computer was taking over the world, yet here we have students that do not know how to use the computer. However, some students still do not have a computer at home and may not be exposed to it or not know how to use it. Others may have an iPad, and an iPad does not have a mouse. The computer in the classroom that I plan on using for the study operates with a mouse. So, therefore, they needed to be aware of how to use the computer. So we spent, for the most part, a week trying to navigate the mouse, moving it around, getting it to where we wanted it to be. We also showed students how to log on and how to log off, and how to log into a certain computer program and how to log off a computer program. Once they acquired that skill, we were able to assess the students. They were given, of course, an initial assessment to determine their prior knowledge, find out what it is exactly that they knew, so that we could compare it to our results and find out how much gain there was. They were given a test in the beginning They were given a test midway, and they were given a test at the end. This was done within a period of a month because most of our lessons are about 2 weeks long, so I wanted to be able to do at least 2 sessions. Now, in addition to whole group instruction, the students, once they were given a test, in addition to the whole group instruction, they rotated into small groups based on their instructional group profile. Students were taken once a week to the media center. At that time, they were allowed to use the computer and the iReady program for 1 hour. So every week, students were on the iReady program for 1 hour of instruction in reading. In addition to that, they spent 15 minutes on the computer during their center rotation. They were also assigned technology homework, I guess, at home. They were asked to spend 30 minutes twice a week on the computer at home practicing their reading skills. Now, students, when they were on the computer, they got a lesson on the domain that they scored the lowest. Teachers were able to go online and view those lessons after each subsequent diagnostic test so that they could see what their students were working on. Lessons were often based on the student's needs, as opposed to following the pacing guide or the curriculum and working hand in hand with both. They were obviously based on the curriculum, but at times they didn't match because, of course, it was geared towards our students' needs. I feel that in response to your question as to how this would benefit other professionals, this study showed that at the beginning I had 13 students who were working below grade level as far as literacy is concerned, meaning phonological awareness and reading skills, the coding, blending, and things of that sort. However, at the end of the study, the results indicated that there was growth. These students who first experienced a slow start showed progress. As a result of that, I think that other professionals may understand that the internet and the technology and incorporating it in the classroom would offer additional support to teachers. There are many resources available that students can use. Of course, my results are based solely on the iReady program, and it depends on what type of a program that you use to determine how much growth there will be, or if there will be any growth at all, or if there are positive or negative effects. However, with the program that I use, there was growth. Students seem to be eager to use the computer. They were excited to learn because there were a lot of visuals, a lot of colors. There were they would really try to complete their homework quickly so that they can get additional computer time. And they also got rewards when they were using the programs, and they were able to add things to, for example, like they would get points and they could buy things, and they had incentives. So, of course, they were enthusiastic about using the computer where they might not have been during whole group instructions. Now, I'm not saying that the computer or technology can replace the teacher and can replace like hands-on activities or whole group activity that we do in class, but it can surely enhance it. Because of course, we can still teach kids letters by incorporating, for example, foam letters and having them identified, by incorporating puzzles in the classroom and having them match uppercase and lowercase letters, by having them identify things that start with a particular letter using puzzles, by using a balloon a ball that you throw to them, and whatever, if their left thumb falls on a letter, they have to identify the letter and things of that sort. I'm not saying that the computer can replace those things, but I'm saying that it can enhance it. And I hope that my study has shown that. One more thing that I'd like to say to answer another question as to what are the differences between this study and perhaps the study that we did in our other research class. First off, my research question was different. I wanted to find out in my previous study how incorporating sensors in the classroom would affect reading skills. And this time I wanted to find out about how technology would affect literacy skills. They're kind of the same, but they're just testing two different things. One is testing sensors and finding out how they affect instruction, and the other one is the incorporation of technology. I found that this one was a little bit more difficult, especially as far as measuring, as far as measurement was concerned, simply because it was a little bit more difficult to measure, in the sense that it was beneficial, but would students have attained growth regardless? I mean, can I prove that, you know, the growth was only solely on the fact that we incorporated technology? I don't think it answers that question. Whereas with centers, I think you could prove it a little bit more, because when you're working with students in centers, you're reinforcing skills that they may not have had otherwise. They may be lost when you're teaching in a whole group, whereas in centers you're working one-on-one with them. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with the technology, because of the fact that this computer program that I used worked with them on specific skills that they needed help with. But I think it was easier to measure with the centers because I was there with them and I could keep track of it, as opposed to the computer. I'm not sure. I just felt like it was more of a difficult topic than my first one was. Maybe the fact that I was working with a little bit of time constraint as well may have something to do with it. And if I had to do it again, I recommend working with other colleagues that may provide feedback. I also recommend planning, and I think that's about it. I think I recommend more or less planning and working with other peers so that you have a support system to help. I hope I answered all your questions. Thank you for listening.